So yeah, amazing kind of fits. Oh, now we got the bloodline.
Yeah, peak bloodline from
Yeah. You,
2020 to 2024.
oh, Hall of Fame. Come on now.
Terrible, terrible.
Hall of Fame.
Oh, stop. Hold on. Hold on. What's with the hatred? Well, we ain't hating.
I don't
I'm
think
just teasing. I'm just
so.
teasing.
I
It's
I
Hall of Fame.
love the blood. Like, so to me, the way I view it is that I didn't really care for the bloodline in 21, but when Sami Zayn got involved, I was like, I am
That's when it got
hooked.
elevated.
Yeah, because like
True.
I think I think in 2020 was more about Roman than like actually creating the bloodline. And then when they added Sami Zayn and like the whole tribal court, and then the Royal Rumble 2023, and it ended with like oh my god, it was so good. It's
And
so
all,
It
dude,
really
good.
was.
never, ever, ever, as long as we live, forget he's not feeling very oozy.
That was
That segment broke. That segment broke everybody in
Everyone.
the ring.
And you know what? Solo was off camera. Bet he broke too.
Yeah, true.
also one of my favorite moments is that Jay Uso stand up for himself. Man, I don't give a damn what the
The
tribal chief
tribal.
says.
Ooh,
Yep.
boy. When he said that, it's the way Roman popped his head up. Like,
He was like, "But
I
you have
felt the,
chosen death."
I felt the dad in him right there. Cause I believe he has, what, 5 kids? Yeah, he said he has 5 kids with his wife. I felt that dad stare from hell when he said that shit. I'm like, ooh, you gonna get your ass whooped.
Yeah, like
Yep, true.
But
to me,
but what also was so cool is the eventual full circle of Sammy or Jay finally embracing Sammy at War Games.
yes. I just think like from when Sami Zayn joined from it to tribal, it's called tribal combat, right? Yeah, probably some of the best like storytelling we've ever seen from wrestling in general,
Yeah,
and I don't
true.
think we'll ever get that feeling again.
I
I feel
mean,
it. I
we
feel it.
literally have the term
But I'm
it's
but I'm
cinema.
but I'm gonna be real. I think 2021 to 2022, other than Sammy, was probably all of their best years.
True. Yeah.
Man, see that's easy Hall of Fame. Oh, now we got Solo's
We got
bloodline.
the Bloodline 2.0.
It never happened.
Rudy.
Move on.
Hey, it gave us Jacob Fatu. Don't play with
Now,
me.
That is true,
now,
but
hear me out. I think good, but could have been better because the way they was bringing in Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, it started out pretty good.
But here's the thing: as soon as I said if Jacob Fatu comes to WWE, I said the moment it happens, he's gonna take all of Solo's bag immediately, and he did.
And it.
I'd
Just
say
missed.
When you see Jacob Fatu, you know that's that nigga right there.
like Jacob
I think
Fatu got so over in this faction that we all thought like we thought this faction was so bad because Solo was leading it, but Jacob Fatu made this faction at least enjoyable.
He was that
Yeah.
uncontrollable element that was unpredictable. It was like if you gave it was like if you gave Taz from ECW tribal chief plot armor. You got Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
True. True.
I
So
was never really the biggest fan of this because I don't know the idea of Solo leading the new bloodline. I just never really cared for that part of the story. I'm being honest with you, but for what they did, it was okay. I'd probably say it's like high end of a little bit high on end of the mediocre section. I'm being honest with you.
another reason why I
I
give them
stick.
some more points is it legitimately turned Paul Heyman babyface.
Yeah,
You're not
I
my tribal
guess.
chief, and then they brutally beat the shit out of Paul Heyman.
But Paul Heyman now has the privilege of saying, "I popped Madison Square Garden." Whenever he said, "I acknowledge that you are not my tribal chief." Dude, the pop he got is addictive
Yeah.
to go back and listen to.
Yeah,
I think
it was a pretty big
But so
pop.
for me, it's high end mediocre, but it did give us again the Samoan
I
werewolf.
think I think good but could have been better because to be honest, a lot of the lows were just Solo because he shouldn't have been facing Cody Rhodes. Rhodes at that point.
Actually, no, he absolutely should not have. But I think that was just a mean. Him being in there was an angle for Roman, nothing more. So actually, V, I agree with you. I'd put him in good, but could have been better. And the reason why is because the next choice is mediocre.
I also
Honestly,
say
shouldn't have.
this. I also think with Solo, it's like I think it was a matter of him being miscast. You know,
Yeah.
And I thought him being in this position, he wasn't supposed to be in it, but he at least
Yeah.
try to make it at least good. And this was even around the time when Roman Reigns came back and he was starting to do the whole OTC thing. And for me, this weird period where he was like a sort of a baby face, kinda. It's like I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of Roman Reigns at that point. I thought Solo was like he wasn't much better, but it was like I cared more about. I was a little bit more interested in Solo than I was with Roman. That's just another
Hey,
added point.
I feel you. But to be honest, the problems that I had with Solo as a leader were the same problems that we had with Roman Reigns as a single star when he broke from the Shield. Like when they were both in the groups, they barely talked. Like have these guys talk so we can see how they sound and how they do as on their mic skills.
Yeah, and not just that. It was like you made Sol Sokoa a silent enforcer to being a little bit more talkative, scaredy cat heel. It was like it was such a disconnect, you know. Another reason why I sometimes feel like the Bloodline story kind of like died when Jimmy turned heel, but that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
move forward. And next, like I said, the reason why I like Solo's Bloodline and good but could have been better is because the next choice has got to go in mid, and that's the MFTs.
I'm good on that. Yeah.
Yeah, salute.
Yeah, it's mediocre. I
Like,
mean,
look what it did to Jeff Cobb.
JC Mateo.
You know
I
what?
don't
Hold
know.
on a second. Is that his real name? Is that actually his real name? I gotta know.
Yeah,
Not,
we can move on. I don't want to. I don't. I don't
It's
want to think about
not.
it.
It's Jeffrey Cobb. That's his shoot name. And JC, bro, Snow. God damn it! It's so bad. Now I'm
It's
upset
really
because I thought that
bad.
was might have been his shoot name, but it's not. You just got a trash name.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
mediocre.
Yeah, it's mid.
Well, I'm gonna be real. I'm leaning on towards should have never happened because they just need to disband this big Samoan faction action at this point. I think Tama Tonga should go as a single star, and so is the other two new members.
Oh,
SDK.
Hikuleo. Yeah, nah, he gotta go. Or Tala Tonga. What they call him?
Yeah,
Still call him Hikuleo. Nah, yeah, it never should have happened. Now, next up is
The Authority.
the exhausting ass authority.
Okay. You want my take on this? 2013 is Hall of Fame.
Yes.
However, 20 when it gets to 2015 and 2016, I'm like, okay, I want to shoot my brains out.
No, they were an
no,
absolute blight on the product at one point. Made Raw unwatchable.
Yes.
for
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say is that they did their they got Daniel Bryan over. It made him the biggest baby face in the company. It it led to one of the best triple threats of all time in WrestleMania 30. That was great. It should have ended at Survivor Series. That was the perfect ending that the Authority needed. That match was amazing with Dolph Ziggler. The 3-1 comeback. It was
Hmm.
awesome. And then they bring them back a month later. It almost felt like the last year that we had didn't really matter.
If they would have
I
stopped at Survivor Series 2014, it would have been a lot
I
of Hall of Fame. But I still think amazing because even though it carried on, I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just boring to watch.
I'd say it's
Corporate
mediocre.
Kane,
I
y'all. Corporate Kane.
I
Mediocre.
I'd say
The
it's
goods
mediocre.
were. I feel like the goods were
I
too.
Do you know what the best thing?
I'd say
You know what the best thing the authority gave me just for members within the faction. J&J Security were the shit.
I say they're mediocre because this is when I was really like for me the authority faction or even the authority storyline to me it peaked like way in the beginning from like SummerSlam to like Hell in a Cell 2013 like that first 2 months that was like peak authority after
And
after that that's when like for me, I stopped caring about the Authority, and then and then sort of kind of piqued my interest when Seth turned on the Shield, you know. But every freaking like 2014, 2015, that was just oh my god, every week was just the Authority and the promos.
Don't forget
Don't you
that
think?
nobody was allowed to harm Stephanie ever.
Unless it was an
That,
accident.
that was another thing. It was like you couldn't get nothing on freaking Steph. Freaking every week it was like you get a main event whether Randy Orton versus John Cena or a 6-man tag with Orton and Seth and Kane and then Big Show turned and he's a part of the Authority and then it's just like to me this was just some of the most repetitive and boring times
Wait,
of
did you say Big Show
ESPN
turned? Which time?
bunch of times. He even turned in the beginning of the Authority storyline. Remember where he was like crying every week, and then he like randomly turned on Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton at
Don't
Battleground,
fucking
only for him to
remind me of
Yeah.
crying baby Big Show.
like. To me, the Authority peaked when it was like they screwed over Daniel Bryan after he won the belt at Night of Champions, and then they did the fast count. And then when Cody and Dustin was fighting, Goldust fighting the Shield, like that was like peak Authority for me.
Yeah, it was.
anything after anything after that was just like and then that was just
Well,
like it wasn't it anymore and
I
then
No,
just think I just think like I can't say mediocre because what they did for Daniel Bryan and as you mentioned, like the storyline that they had with the Rhodes family is really fucking
yeah.
good. I like to
it
The
me
is
Rhodes family.
like to me like I agree. Like it should have we all know it should have ended after 2014. It should have ended at Survivor Series 2014. And
mm,
the bad they when they switched to Roman, like no one cared because no one liked Roman at that time.
no,
Like that's my issue. And then they brought Vince McMahon into it. And we're like, okay, they're trying to copy Austin and McMahon again. But it didn't work.
Did not work.
it I mean I don't know for me I just felt like the Authority like you said it outstayed its welcome and it was already like a detriment to the show, but each and every week it was just, and not only that, but when Seth Rollins was the WWE champion, I was not a big fan of those promos of every week being like, "Hi, I'm Seth Rollins. I'm the future. Where's my statue?" Like, bro, like,
That's wrong.
fuck off.
That
he was
there's a
cringe as
lot of
shit.
revisionist. There's a lot of revisionist history about 2015 Seth Rollins. That's all.
Yep.
Thank you. My
There,
God,
there's.
okay,
But I say amazing because I feel like their goods like outweighed the bad.
I agree.
Because let's go over it. The goods that the Authority gave us. The Authority versus the Rhodes family when they was fucking them over.
Hmm.
The Shield Evolutions storyline. It was built from the Authority.
Yeah,
It gave us one of the greatest versions of Randy Orton.
that is true.
It gave us Yeselmania, one of the greatest storylines ever. Yeah, and it gave us the build up to Survivor Series, but even
Go
though that
ahead,
match
Cook
was
V.
mid as hell, that whole
And
show
don't
was
get
mid as hell.
and also don't get me started on the Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella storyline. That shit was trash.
Oh
Yeah,
no, why?
that's probably the worst moment from the Authority gave us.
And it
Also,
led to one of the worst.
Sting beating, losing to Triple H. Yeah, fuck off.
That
yeah,
was that was one of yeah. Oh my god, that reminded me. Sting and Triple H should have never happened.
No,
Or like it should
Yep.
it should okay. I take that back. It should have happened. Wrong winner.
Mm-hmm.
and not only that, wrong build. This went from Sting's here to take out the Authority. He's doing what he used to do in WCW with the NWO. No, Vince had a PTSD war flashback one day and randomly decided, I gotta get that damn WCW guy one more time. And have you ever noticed? Anytime a big name from WCW was brought in, they all jobbed to Triple H.
Yeah.
Not a
Well,
coincidence.
even
Yeah.
yeah, it
No wonder why
was.
Sting
I don't.
never
it
came
and
to.
it's so frustrating because like the match with Sting and Triple H, I kind of like. It's just
It's a
the
great.
wrong win.
It's a great match.
like
until the
like,
finish.
the NWO. No. Like when DX and NWO came, I was like, okay, this is sick now. Like I like this.
Oh no, I was
Like,
completely
that.
marking the
Yeah.
hell out that dude. My mom watched that Mania with me, and she stopped watching wrestling years ago. She watched that. She was geeking out for Hogan, Hall, Nash, and DX coming out there, and you got all this. Which, by the way, I'm sure that was very confusing to Sean Waltman in that moment. Was he X Pac or Six? But but yeah, wrong guy won, and then Sting shakes his hand. I'm like, you know what? Get the fuck out of here with that. Because Vince just had to stick it to WCW one last time because he just can't let shit go. But
Like
I
I
will
understand.
say low
Like,
end amazing.
It's crazy.
like the thing is, I understand why he won in a sense. Not really, but they're like, oh, like it's like the Monday Night Wars, like WWE beats WCW one last time. But like at the end of the day, Sting should have won. Like,
Of course he
and it's
should
also
have.
his first match in WWE. Like, come on.
And his only Mania match.
Yep.
You know
So,
he's never won a single match in WWE. Like,
not a singles match, no.
yeah, because he lost to Rollins
No wonder
too.
why he waited this long to get to WWE.
Yeah, was it worth
That's
it? All right, so V, where you putting the Authority?
I'm leaning
I
towards amazing or good, but could have been better.
I put it amazing. Because like
And amazing.
I can't say like good, but could have been better. Because like they gave us a lot of good, but like that was really really good. But
Oh wait, hold
it
on.
knocks it down.
I
The
say
homie,
amazing.
hold on. The homie Tristan said that the Sting Triple H match was lit live. Wait, did you go to Mania 31, bro?
No way.
Really?
Yeah, it says it was
You
lit
are lucky.
live. Man
You are
got to witness
lucky.
the heist of the century, and unfortunately a daytime Undertaker entrance.
My 13-year-old self had my mouth the entire open the entire time of that match. But anyway,
All right, next who is that?
We
Is that
got
the
the Jericho
JAS?
Appreciation Society /
Fuck
the Inner
off.
Circle.
Fuck off. Okay. Oh, you're gonna slash the inner circle because if you said just JAS, that's a huge no. But the inner circle was pretty cool.
I'll give it
Except
good, but could have been better.
except Jake Hager wasn't. Never was.
I put it good, but could have been better.
Yeah, agree.
Good, but could have been better. Okay.
All
It's
right,
not bad.
who we got next? I can't really tell who
can't
that
tell
is.
who
This is the Pinnacle with MJF, Wardlow,
Oh,
and FTR,
FTR.
and Sean Spears.
Uh, you know what?
I think amazing.
I think it's I was about to say that. I think it's pretty good.
I'm gonna say good, but could have been better. The payoff obviously was Wardlow breaking away from MJF, but the problem was is the follow up after that. But just for the faction alone, matches were really damn good. Of course, the MJF promo work strong, character work was there. I'm gonna say good, but could have been better.
Oh shit! I see what's next.
Good, but could have been better.
Judgment Day version 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Ran by Edge.
I think people in hindsight say this is trash. I just think they just didn't have enough time. Like 2 months is not
No.
a long time, in fact, at all. And also at the end of the day, like the impact that it did have, like I think it was a good call that Edge picked Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and it definitely benefited both of their careers.
Yeah, because they were floundering.
Yeah, like Rhea was like, she was in a tag team with
Liv.
Nikki, right? Oh, Liv, yes.
Liv. And then
Liv,
she
yeah.
did some stuff with Nikki, yeah.
Yeah, and then Damian Priest, he didn't really find himself. He had a mediocre United States title reign, like the faction itself is not great, but like the impact that it had on Rhea and Damian Priest's career.
I'm gonna be real. Edge at this time, he should have never turned heel, and the way that he was trying to just make the crowd hate on him, it was just bad. I say
Yeah, because
if
nobody
we never got
wanted
this
to boo
version,
this
we never would
dude.
have got the future versions of the Judgment Day.
It was so hard to boo Edge at that time. It was so hard.
Because nobody wanted to. Like, I legit, when this man returned, and it was on the same day Kobe died, okay? So it was already a fucked up day. And his music hits, and I didn't see it live, but I saw the clip, and then I see him walk out there, and I just start to cry. Because I see he's about to cry. He is so overwhelmed, like, I cannot believe I'm back. Because I've always looked at like Adam Copeland, like he's one of us. He's a wrestling fan. Like he's one of the kids in the neighborhood that got to actually do it. And to have it to be able to come back, nobody was gonna want to boo him whatsoever. I'm gonna say good, but could have been better simply because there wasn't enough time and no one wanted to boo Edge. But what it did for Rhea and Damian was big time, because I was worried about my baby, about my baby Rhea, because I thought Vince was gonna do wrong by her creatively, and well, if it wasn't for this, he would have. So,
yep. All right.
I'm leaning on towards mediocre, but
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay, what are we settling on?
I'll go with mediocre.
You can go mediocre. Yeah, that's fine. Now, this Judgment Day.
All right, next up we got Peak Judgment Day.
Hall of Fame. Easily.
Damn.
Yeah,
But-
I think Priest and Rhea found themselves at this point. Dominic Mysterio was obviously probably one of the most entertaining people on live TV. It led to one of the best feuds in 2023 with him and Ray. Yeah, man.
Dude, the segments whenever they had him arrested at Ray's house, and he looked at Rhea and goes, he said, I can't handle jail. like you saw that one moment where the simp in him came out.
Yeah.
Because I've always said Dominic Mysterio is literal proof that simps can win.
Yeah,
True.
And the overall heel turn was one of the best heel turns in my
It
opinion.
really was, and they had a stadium crowd that was invested, but like you could just feel some shit was gonna happen, because he basically got snooed into joining that faction. Rhea fucked him to the point that he couldn't say no. She put that thing on him,
Like Dominic Mysterio. I always bring this up when it comes to Dom, right? In 2021 and early 2022, you know who was voted the worst wrestler of the year twice in a row? Dominic Mysterio.
Really?
Then he joins the Judgment Day, reinvents his character, and is arguably one of the most popular people on the roster in less than a year because of the Judgment Day.
And that just shows a well executed and well timed heel turn, what it can do for somebody, because God knows he needed it. And he goes from just being Ray's son to being so in love with this woman that he gets gaslit into calling his father a deadbeat, knowing it's not true. Because
He told his mother to. Yeah.
He slapped.
He had one of the
like he was so disrespectful. Let me tell you something. So I'm watching
He
39,
poured water on his sister, man.
which was not planned. She was fucking pissed. But let me tell you about that match at 39. So first off, his entrance where this dude is being escorted out of an armored police vehicle is so extra and fucking over the top. He spent one night in county jail, and then he comes back with a teardrop tattoo, and he's being escorted in an armored vehicle with Ray's mask on that he ripped off of him at the Rumble. Disrespectful as fuck. And when they did that spot where Ray got him into the corner and took his belt off and beat his ass with it, I guarantee you, every Latino parent was jumping for joy, like fuck him up. Because if there's one thing you don't do, a Hispanic child is not about to do is disrespect their parent and live to tell the tale.
And also that pop when Ray finally punched Dominic, and how big of a pop that was. dude, it was like that's why it's like one of the best feuds of the 2020s in WWE was
And
Ray
they took
and
their
Dom.
time. They took their time with it.
Dude, and he was such a hated heel that he was getting abused by Ray every single week to the point where he abused Ray so much to the point where I remember there was an episode on SmackDown where Ray was like telling Triple H, "Yo, I don't want to fight my son, bro. I'm actually gonna quit," you know. And then it was like, man, you beat up your dad so much and harassed your dad so much that he was about to quit. That is crazy.
It's just
And then it's
because
like,
to Ray, it would have felt like dishonoring his family if he put his hands on his son.
yeah, it's
I was
just
also
like,
gonna bring, I was also going to bring up, especially with Dom. We always talk about how like people nowadays like to like cheer for the heel because it's like, oh, like the faces are kind of boring nowadays. Like the heels have like actual character. People hated Dom. Like,
They wouldn't let him cut
and that's what a
promos.
heel should be. You
Dude,
know?
like the crowds would not let him cut promos.
Like it got bad. Like,
Yeah, real bad.
but yeah,
But my
this is an easy-
only gripe, and I'm Hall of Fame with you too. But my only gripe, and y'all know, I've been in love with Rhea Ripley since I first saw her pull up at NXT 7 years ago, which is fucking insane, by the way. But I've always hated, and this rule, the only promotion this rule did not apply was ECW because everyone could get the smoke. But it is the unwritten rule in wrestling and mainstream wrestling that a woman can put her hands on a man, but a man is too much of a coward to get the smoke back. The only person that don't apply to is Randy Orton because everybody can get it. Is that Rhea was bodying all these dudes, but nobody was allowed to get to her at all. I get it; they were doing a China thing, but that's why. And eventually, they built up to where China's first physicality from a man, she got a stunner from Austin. Dude, like like I said, I love her to death. But when you do that double standard gender booking, I don't give a damn. Equal rights, equal fights. They took too long for someone to get physical with her, and it was Beth Phoenix, and they didn't blow it off with a match at Mania either. I was wanting those two to have a Hell in a Cell match. No bullshit.
True.
I'm gonna that's Hall of Fame for me.
easily, and also we didn't really mention Priest at all. Like that dude took
Oh,
a
yeah.
complete 180.
Yeah,
Like,
not
that dude
just
took
as a
complete-
character, but his in ring.
and also like it allowed him to be a world champion. I don't think anyone expected Damian Priest. Like you talk like when he joined WWE, I don't think anyone expected him to be world champion. I don't think anyone did.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
And also it gave us one of the funniest rivalries ever. Him versus R-Truth.
Oh, dog, those segments, man. Bro, the night after
easy Hall of
Mania,
Fame.
when they were putting themselves over with their championships, and this nigga R-Truth comes in with the tag titles, and then you hear the hood come out of Damian Priest so fast, he goes, "Oh hell no! Oh hell no!"
Yeah.
And then Damian Truth was giving Damian cuts of money for unofficial Judgment Day merch sales and shit. He goes, "That's your cut," and he kept calling him DP, which was making him break on camera.
oh my god, it was a lot of fun. So,
No,
yeah,
that's super Hall of Fame.
I'd say Hall of Fame just over that.
That was awesome, bro. I love that faction.
Hell
Now
yeah.
we get to the current Judgment Day.
Slightly above mid.
It's overstated.
I wish we had a different tier.
It's gone on too long.
I wish you had a different tier. Can this end already? Like,
Dog, legitimately. Like I honestly, you know what this has served to me? It has gotten the women over more than anything else.
that is true. Yeah.
You know, it's resurrected Liv. Roxanne's been very welcomed. But the big winner out of this version of the Judgment Day, which doesn't have any intimidation factor anymore, by the way, it's literally, the ladies telling dudes what to do. But Raquel Rodriguez her in-ring work is so fucking fire right now. And shout out to Big Sexy Kevin Nash for giving her the proper advice to work to her size. She dominates now.
Mhm.
But like for the dudes and shit, it's drug on too long. Like the peak of this version of Judgment Day was when Liv started coming around and straddling and damn near fucking Dom on live TV. And then the payoff of SummerSlam, which was diabolical, I might add. Keep in mind at the time, Rhea's still a heel. And Dom had a double heel turn. He turned on her while he was still a heel.
Yep.
And I said, but the moment they did that face turn with Rhea, I said, she's going to murder everyone in that. There's no other way to book her. And I think that did a detriment is because it's so hard for them to get heat on her because her booking is so OP. And it is not believable for Liv Morgan to beat a Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
But I'm gonna be real. Dom and Liv during this act, it was interesting, but it wasn't enough for me to be interesting as this version of the Judgment Day as a whole. So
Honestly,
should have never happened.
Should have never happened. But you know what it did give us? Because I don't see him in the thumbnail. Carlito as the comic relief.
Oh, Carlito's in there, yeah.
Is he? But that shit was mad funny. Like there was this one. What was when Liv was helping Dom stretch for a match, and the way they all peeped their head in around the corner was straight out of a cartoon, and then Carlito's like, "That's cool."
Ooh.
And he goes, man, it was kind of. He goes, and he points at at Dom. He goes, looks kind of hard to me. And everyone's like, hey, yo, like there was some genuine funny shit. But here's the problem: a faction like the Judgment Day was not meant for comedy. And once you start doing comedy, kind of takes the piss out of someone's heat.
Takes the seriousness away.
Oh yeah. But so you're with should have never happened.
I'm leading mediocre. I thought they had some bright spots, but like it's just like way too overdrawn.
Also, they get negative points for all the deaf rebelling that happened to their music.
I agree.
Yeah, they got death rebelled.
I mean, Dom didn't.
Mediocre.
Dom and Liv didn't, but I mean Roxanne didn't either. But still, like the Judgment Day theme, no more other side.
I put mediocre.
Mediocre.
Okay.
Oh, this next one's gonna make me cry.
Up for debate.
My 8-year-old self was. Yeah, I think it's the most like this is like definition of good, but could have been better. Like they had probably like the best one of the best like 2-month starts to a faction ever.
Yeah.
And then it got ended by SummerSlam because I got squashed by Cena, and they never recovered from that.
Not at all.
You know the fact that Cena made that last minute decision to put them over, and then 3 weeks later he goes, "Yeah, sorry, y'all should have won over."
Like this man.
And the most frustrating. Oh, God.
This man took a DDT on concrete, and that wasn't the finish. That didn't finish him. Salute.
If they just had the Nexus go over and they still continued with the story they were telling, it would have been like one of the better stories of that decade. You know, like imagine the Nexus beat Cena at SummerSlam, and then they made Cena join Nexus. Like it would have been like so much heat there. You know, it would have been great. But once they lost, it was like
honestly,
they
I would have gone
all that steam.
Dog, I would have gone as far as having Barrett win the title.
You could have had him win the belt and even carried it to.
Would have been pushed as world champ after.
And have him go to Mania 27 as the WWE champion.
The one thing, the one thing I hate about like this like faction in general is people having revisionist history about it. Yes, like were these guys like by themselves mediocre? However, but this is the type of faction where guys that are mediocre and they're led by a leader who has some charisma. Because Wade Barrett, like in my opinion, was a pretty good leader.
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
they could build off that, and they definitely got
Honestly,
married.
Honestly, they
For-
have the
for
right
me-
balance of guys when it comes to ability. Where Wade was the charismatic leader because he's a hell of a talker. He had that presence. You had, you had your high flyer and Justin Gabriel. You had your muscle guys and Ryback and Otunga. And Heath Slater was a jack of all trades type. Like you had a lot of guys who could do a lot of different things, relatively well to flesh out. So like if you needed somebody to go out and have a hot singles match, you could have Justin Gabriel go out there, or him, or Slater and Otunga tag together. Or if you need some meat muscle match, like someone to squash, you got Sheffield for it. Like they had everything.
Justin Gabriel.
I do agree with Kieran in that there is some level of revisionist history when it comes to the Nexus. Like I'm not the biggest Nexus guy either, but to say when I see a lot of opinions when they say things like, "Well, these guys weren't even going to get over anyway, so Cena beating them doesn't matter," But that's just looking at hindsight, you know. Like if you were to look at the lenses now, it's a very unfair take to make. I'm not the biggest fan of Nexus either, but even I think Wade Barrett and them should have went over at SummerSlam. So
Edge and Jericho
Yeah, but, like,
pleaded for
that's
that finish.
That's also the problem too. Like, dude, you have in the match you have John Cena, you have Edge, you have Chris Jericho on Team WWE. You're telling me if they pin all three of those guys, they can't get over? Like three of the biggest stars of the Ruthless Aggression era? Like, come on.
yeah,
Especially a guy like Wade Barrett. If he pinned John Cena, he doesn't even have to pin him clean. You can't tell me they can't get over? Like, come on.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be clean. He just pins him.
Yes, because
like,
this is 2010. This is Super Cena.
Just the idea of the Nexus just getting over on Cena. It's like, all right, you destroyed, the legends, and you've taken out people, and now you took out their top guy. It's like, yeah, you're gonna be a made super villain at that point, and you can't get villains, aka heels, over if you beat them right away. So,
which on a side note, if none of you have ever seen it, and it's an older video, it was What Culture Wrestling's How WWE Should Have Booked the Nexus video. This is probably from like 2016.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, Wade Barrett Barrage. God, shout out to the OG of YouTube, Adam Blampier. Glad he got his life in order and everything. Are y'all subscribed to his new channel, Blomco?
I am.
I'm sorry, I just missed that voice and that smarmy ass humor of his.
No, his comedy was so funny.
Actually, what's funny? The night Cena turned heel at Chamber, I immediately thought, wait a fucking minute, I gotta go through some old YouTube vids, and I went to it was the video, the 10 worst things John Cena ever did as a babyface. Somebody responded to a comment of mine earlier for that, because the video, it says 11 months ago from me, dear video in all caps, you're not gonna believe what Cena did. Someone just said an hour ago, remind me. I'm like, no, what the fuck? I absolutely will not. But I was going through old videos from way back when about how to book his heel turn and everything and all this shit. And I'm like, man, these modern comments. But no, there's always been these ideas on how you could have redone all that and put a lot of heat on them. Here's legit what I would have done. Barrett wins the title. Cena is essentially his slave until I don't know, maybe you do it at the Rumble or No Way Out, where you finally have Cena break away. He challenges for the WWE Championship, and you still have Del Dipshit win the Rumble. He challenges Edge, get that out of the way. Cena wins the title to close out Mania. He's free from the Nexus and everything, only for the Miz to cash in on him on the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, I would have done that.
That's what I would have done.
I would have done that. Yeah,
And guess what?
That would.
Miz would remember what happened.
Yeah, I would have done that. Yeah.
So yeah, we're all in agreement that obviously the Nexus falls under one of the biggest what ifs of all time. Good, but could have been better. Fortunately, we now have Punk's Nexus.
Get that shit out of here. I'm done with this.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move. On.
Yeah, Timu Batista.
This was so garbage. Like,
It served nobody got over.
Nobody got over. The only thing it really did was get CM Punk even more over, but he didn't even need this faction. Like, he could have gotten over without it. So,
Did you know technically at Money in the Bank 2011, whenever on his nameplate when he was coming to the ring, it still said the new Nexus. When you put the word "new" on anything that is not day, you're kind of fucked.
Yep.
Remember the new Daniel Bryan?
Ew.
Okay, at least that character was good, but
yeah, the Planet's champion was awesome. But
yeah, by the way, what was it? The belt made out of what, tree bark or whatever the fuck it was.
yeah, but yeah, the new Nexus, like,
should have never happened.
Yeah, there was no point to it.
The thing with the Nexus, like the original Nexus, at least that had like substance that like, oh, all these guys came from NXT, like season 1. They're all coming together. Wade Barrett is like the leader, which I thought it was a good choice at the time. This is just CM Punk and a bunch of like guys that not a lot of people knew at the time. Like, you know, just didn't have the same feel as the new Nexus.
The only thing we got out of that was the Sermon on the Mountain in the 2011 Rumble. That was it.
Literally, yeah. They got squashed by Cena again.
Yeah.
They got.
Oh, dude, we got a back-to-back. Get him the fuck out of here. Look what's next.
All right, move on. Move on.
That stupid ass shirt.
You know, the reason why they formed was because the three of them, Slater, Barrett, and Gabriel, they were all core members of the Nexus. So what the fuck was Ezekiel Jackson?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Where did an Ezekiel Jackson even come from?
Was it a DEI hire?
Wow. Like, dude, the only thing that Ezekiel Jackson, like, I remember from is that he was the final ECW champion.
Don't remind me of that either.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember. Like, that's it.
Mo told us a very funny story about the core, because their shirt design was so ass. His mother walked in one night when he was watching SmackDown, and she just goes, "That's terrible."
I don't. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, core with 2 R's. Yeah.
Yeah, who the hell says it like that? So yeah, that's a unanimous get them to pack them the fuck up. Now the Hurt Business. Now we don't have the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, we don't have the Hurt Syndicate.
And good, but could have been better.
Could have been better because once Triple H got the pencil, that was it. We know MVP hates Triple H's guts. Bobby Lashley was a Vince guy. That was
the Hurt Business. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the Hurt Business, not the Hurt Syndicate. Now,
oh man, if
the Hurt Syndicate was up in here, that's Hall of Fame. It's especially just off the theme song.
Bro, why did they break them up so soon?
Because Triple H, he wasn't. They weren't a part of Triple H's visions.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say it was Triple H because this was 2021.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There was, but then again, they teased bringing it back in late 2022, and then they just like.
But at that point, no one cared.
Yo, they reunited at very different points for some reason. In the middle of 2021, when Big E won the WWE Championship, they reunited just to take down the New Day. And then they reunited again when Lashley was feuding with Goldberg.
Yeah, it was like it was so inconsistent. It's like
I like to forget that he had matches with Goldberg.
It was ridiculous, but I would say it was good, but could have been better. But Yeah,
I'm with you there because it did give us one of my favorite gimmicks of the last 6 years. And I would get so hyped up every time he came out. The Almighty Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, and dog, that his pyro, like, dude, his aura was on infinity.
Yep.
dude.
Bro, to this day, I am very upset that we never got Almighty Bobby Lashley versus Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
No, never proper. Because you know what?
Dude,
You know what I would have wanted the most out of
Dude,
that?
and you know what? Oh, sorry.
MVP versus Heyman promos. Gimme.
Yeah,
No.
that could have been crazy.
Dude,
That could've been
V,
amazing.
dude, V. You know what's frustrating? They actually could have like built something up to Roman and Bobby that like Bobby could have been like, "I've beaten you before." Like they had something there. Like
Exactly.
it's frustrating.
Dude, that was one of the things what I liked about 2021 WWE is that on Raw you had the Almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley, and then you had the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns on SmackDown. Like
Yeah.
these two guys were just absolute freaking juggernaut, just titans as champions. It's like I always enjoyed Lashley as WWE champion. Another underrated run.
And he
as
honestly
champion.
had a good fun babyface run as the Almighty United States champion.
He was a really good United States champion.
Damn
Yes.
right he was. And I like you could tell when he was finally comfortable in his own skin, because he was one of those guys that took a long time to really hammer down, character work. But once he got there, damn, like there's nothing scarier than well-spoken, physically intimidating black men in suits.
I will
Dude,
say
and
Hurt
also
versus
the way he dressed was on point. that year.
Exactly. Woo wee.
Yep.
I will say this though about when he was champion. I wish they didn't have Big E cash in the way he did. I wish he would have cashed in like how RVD did it,
Call your
in
shot.
advance.
Yeah.
Like because I was like, if they're gonna build up Lashley as this unbeatable champion, somebody should have beaten him clean instead of beating him like the typical Money in the Bank cash in. Like, that's something I would have just
Yeah.
changed. Like
That
Biggie,
is true.
like hey, I would have done that. I was like, if you're gonna build this guy up, you might as well do it the right way. But it is what it is.
And all of that just for Big E to get pinned by Brock Lesnar, because it ain't WWE and Brock Lesnar ain't beating black champions for the title. Salute.
exactly.
That motherfucker ain't never gonna
Hurt
escape the
Business-
allegations.
Bro, the Hurt Business versus Peak Bloodline, that would have been legendary.
Oh yeah, we get Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander tagging against the Usos. Thank you.
Yes. And all of them could have been holding some gold.
Yeah, and honestly, you could have used that as a showcase for Cedric Alexander.
Yep.
They should have definitely brought back the Hurt Business and like they did in late 2021 and moved them to SmackDown, because I remember after like the draft time they were losing, like they didn't have enough guys for Roman to wrestle. So I'm like, imagine they had Lashley and Roman feud for the belt during that time period. That
Yeah.
would have been really
Yeah.
And that would have been a match. Like, man, I don't know if Roman can beat Bobby like this version of Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Bobby was a beast.
He was on that.
But you guys remember why the Hurt Business split when they did? Was
No.
because Vince thought they had nothing else to do for him. They literally they thought they accomplished it all.
Come on, man.
I think maybe this is me playing conspiracy theorist, but I kind of think part of it has to be like they were planning on reforming the bloodline with the Usos, and if you noticed, the bloodline kind of had like that almost mafia-esque kind of a faction to it, similar to what the Hurt Business was. So, maybe that was kind of one of the reasons why they decided to disband that faction. I don't know. That's just me playing conspiracy theorist.
I still think
You
that's a lot of money left off the table, but it's a shame
I
what
mean,
could have been with the Hurt Business.
True. I'm just saying you never know how things go backstage. So They're like, hey, that's a cool gimmick. Let's steal it. You know.